But you say something about technocrats. I think the United States government has a bureaucracy. Administrations change. Administrations change and priorities change.
Okay.
But the civil service in the United States remains. So the technocrats always remain in place, except that the secretaries, the assistant secretaries, the
Cabinet.
upper echelon of the political appointees change.
Yes.
So priorities change, but the civil service, the bureaucracy, remains in place. For the Chinese, the difference is that they did not have that kind of competent civil service. Under Mao, the civil service or the bureaucracy was run by political cadres.
Yes.
Those who implement the official line. These are not competent people who make policies or who implement policies on the basis of their abilities and their capacities. But that changed in the started to change in the 1980s after the reform. Look, Deng Xiaoping groomed three generations. Three generations of leaders.
Wow.
Three generations of leaders that would take over every 10 years. When he left, honestly, speaking, after the Tiananmen Square, Jiang Zemin was president. Zhu Rongji was the prime minister, and these two people actually designed the change. Deng Xiaoping thought that Zhu Rongji, he called him, he knows economics.
Wow.
So he is really the person that put in place this economic plans.
Yes.
That actually revolutionized the Chinese economy. 10 years later, they were replaced by a group, men who were in their 40s. By the way, they're men mostly.
Okay.
Who were in their 40s when these guys who were in their 50s took over. When they get to the 60s, the whole class changes.
Yes.
So Jiang Zemin and Zhu Rongji were replaced by Hu Jintao, the former president, Hu Jintao, and Wen Jiabao. These were engineers,
Okay.
Engineers and geologists. They were not from the traditional place where Chinese leaders came, Anhui. This guy actually came from 40 miles outside Beijing.
Okay.
It's a city the size of Detroit, but is one of the industrial heartland.
Wow.
The man actually grew up in this context, so he really understood Wen Jiabao, he understood economics. Once they were replaced, their time ended after 10 years, they were replaced by another group led by Xi Jinping, the current president, and Li Keqiang.
Okay.
Li Keqiang is from Dalian, by the way. Dalian, the city where I was.
Yes.
And he was a party secretary of Liaoning province. They've done a lot of things when they were party officials and technocrats at the lower level. So when they get to the Beijing as members of the Central Committee of the Communist Party,
Okay.
these people have accumulated tremendous experience in different sectors of the economy. Some have distinguished themselves in their knowledge and practice of agriculture, others in energy, others in manufacturing, others in aerospace engineering, others in education. So that's what I meant by technocrats. These are able people with great experience to manage the economy. And they have shown that they could manage the economy of China.
Nice.
I mean, there are many measures that I could speak about.
Right.
Why the Chinese economy is on solid ground.